Hello everyone. Well, this is just a very short video about something that happened to me the other day when I was talking to a client and about the question that they asked me that I found really important and really profound, especially if you are in the field of if you're a STEM professional and you are trying to communicate your work in a better way. So the question was, what is the number one, like the most important ingredient in order to make your work understandable to others? And I would say that the number one ingredient, if we would take all of the rest out, the only thing that has to be there for sure is empathy. Let me elaborate a little bit on that. Empathy, because if you don't really put yourself not only into the shoes of the person who is reading your proposal or reading your tech report or reading your paper or listening to your talk, your presentation, reading your poster, if you don't really put yourself into the shoes, but not only the shoes, but even the mind of the person who is listening to you, so if you don't have this capacity to develop such empathy to such a point that really makes sense for you to think the way they think, then you're probably not going to be able to make your message land. And for me, this is so important. I'm super passionate about that topic because it is really about thinking about the other person. So, of course, there are many techniques that one has to implement. There are many writing techniques, presenting techniques, simplification, avoidance of jargon, not putting too many words into the slides or whatever you want. But the core of all of that is really thinking about the person that you have in front of you, whether that person is the audience who is listening to your talk, or those people are some people who are reading your proposals, if you are maybe applying for some funding, or the people who are, if those are people who you are interviewing with. So all of those people, what they really want, they want you to say the thing as quickly as you can, as simply as you can. And this is basically what we all want. So there is no time for us. Our attention spans are super short nowadays. So we are really impatient with the information. Think about if it's difficult to understand my point. Think about that professor or that teacher that was really able to make boring stuff sound interesting. What was the magic ingredient? Well, the ingredient was empathy, because they were able to understand your point of view and what is your main interest, and somehow connect the subject that they are teaching with what you care about. And this is the core of all of my consulting and coaching work. I'm teaching my clients how to reach that stage, how to really get into the mind and the perspective of the other person, other people who are listening to us when we are talking, or maybe reading our work as they are reading our proposals or tech reports. So this is something that I see a STEM professional really struggle with, not because they are not talented, but because I'm also a STEM professional, so I know how my training looked like. And we didn't really have a training in thinking about how others perceive our work. And since nowadays we depend a lot on, especially on the funding from agencies and from people who don't understand our specific jargon and our specific techniques and methods that we use in order to develop our work and our projects, it is very important to be able to put ourselves, as I said before, not only into the shoes of those people, but also into their mind, and try to meet their needs. And especially, I would say that not even meet them halfway, because that is not enough. We cannot rely on them coming halfway to us. We can really meet them where they are now. And this is likely not going to happen if you don't put intentional effort into understanding the mechanisms that are happening behind that. So how can I make it easy for the other person so that the other person only has to be there So not even we should not require from people to be super concentrated or super like present in the moment. No, we should remind them that we are there for them. So I believe that you have read many times many scientific papers, especially since science is my background. There are so many papers there that are so confusing that the only thing you are like, okay, I don't want to deal with this. You just move to another paper and another source of knowledge that explains your topic of interest in a better way. And this for you is great because you don't have to waste any time on trying to sort of decipher what the authors wanted to say. But from the author's perspective, that is not so great because they just missed a valuable opportunity to make their work seen. And the same thing goes when you apply for funding or when you present your work to a live audience. So I just wanted to make that point today in this video because I feel it is super important. And if there is one thing you can do today, if you are maybe preparing a presentation or writing a paper or report, just ask yourself, take a moment really to ask yourself, how can I make it easy for the people who are listening to me? Like, how can we apply these principles of basic empathy and try to make it easy for them, because it is our job to make our work understandable to others. Okay, thank you so much, and as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can always contact me. There in the comments or maybe in the link in bio as well as you want. There I'm always open to discussion, and I would be very happy to answer all of your questions. Thank you so much. See you in another video.